Hello, my name is Gracie and today I'm going to show you how to insert a lapped zip. This is the technique that is used in my new sewing pattern, the GS flirt skirt as seen here. I hope you enjoy it. Right now I'm going to label my front piece, and here's a few of the things that you're going to need. Obviously a regular zipper is important, a ruler, an unpicker, a hand sewing needle, thread and scissors, a regular presser foot, and also a zipper foot. Now your zipper foot might look different to mine, and that's totally fine, different machines. Now I'm going to start by labeling my side seam where the lower zipper stopper is. So taking a fabric marker, in this case I'm using a pencil, and marking just below that stopper there. Now I've made this video to complement my sewing pattern, the GS flirt skirt. You can buy this on my website, graciesteel.com. In the skirt pattern you'll already have your side seam sewn, but if you're just using this for another pattern, you'll need to sew this seam together before you insert your zipper. So we're going to baste this seam down to the notch. And by basting I mean extending your stitch length to the longest possible. When you reach the notch, so I've marked that with this blue pin here, I'm going to adjust my stitch length back to normal, back stitch, and then continue sewing along the length. So here you can see my elongated stitches, the back stitch, and then the regular stitches to the end. Now when you open these pieces up, you want to open up the seam allowance as well and give that a really good press. Don't skip on this one. So I've gone and ironed this, and you can see how nice and flat and crisp this seam is looking. Turn your pieces over so that the right sides are up, and with your fabric marker, mark a 1 centimeter line all the way along the length. Using a marker that has a nice fine point is going to help to make that nice and precise. Now that that marker's done, we are going to turn our fabric over, take our zip and place it with the coils down, centered over the seam. Take your needle and thread, and you're going to baste the back seam allowance with that zip there. So just double check that you're working on the back side and not the front. So that's all been basted in place. That's the back side there, and I can see I've written front over on that side there. So pick up the zip and tuck the right sides back together, keeping that seam allowance open, and we're going to machine baste this in place. So I'm changing my foot to my zipper foot now so that I can get the needle in the right position without the zip getting in the way. And with my longest stitch length, I'm stitching along that zip there. Now that that's all basted along there, we're going to roll the zip open, and you'll see a little sort of lip of that seam allowance. So we're going to stitch that in place right along the edge, along that zipper there. Take your time to position your needle in the right place. We want to be really careful that we're not stitching too close to the side seam that we basted earlier, but also, you know, we want to be nice and close to that zip on the other side as well without going through the coils. It's also important in this step to backstitch at both the start and the end of the seam. If you're worried that your line won't be straight because your zipper pull is in the way, just raise your presser foot keeping the needle in and move the zipper pull out of the way. So we're going to remove the hand basted stitches that we put in, and now we're going to baste the other side of the zipper in place. So opening up your main pieces and laying the zip back face down again, taking the front seam allowance and basting it together with the zip completely closed. So turn your garment so that it is right sides up, and we're going to make sure that we've got our stopper marking in the right spot. So I'm pushing a needle through from the upper into the lower side and checking if I stitch along that spot there, am I going to hit that zipper stopper and break a needle, or am I safe? So I'm going to adjust this a little bit closer, and that looks good now. Now that we've got the zip basted in place to that front seam, we're going to take our unpicker and undo the basting stitches that were holding the side seam together that we did way back at the start. With those stitches unpicked, you should be able to open and close the zipper easily. Close the zip because now we're going to top stitch along that marking that we made earlier. Now over at the machine with your fabric right sides up, take the time to adjust your needle and your zipper foot into the right position. We're going to start at the side seam and head towards that zipper marking that we made, backstitching before we leave our needle in, raise the presser foot, rotate our fabric, and then continue sewing back up along the length. When you're close to the end, you can leave the needle in, raise the foot, and open up that zip so that the pull isn't in the way when you get to the top of the seam. And there you have it, a functional lapped zipper. Check that all of your stitches are, in a nice straight line. If they are, well done. If they're not, unpick what you need to and redo it again. Trim all your threads, unpick whatever basting stitches are in the way and messy. Here I am tidying up absolutely every single basting stitch because I wanted to show you how pretty this finish is. So here's what the finished product will look like from the inside, and then if we flip it over to the outside, that's your lapped zip. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you want to see more, and check out my website graciesteele.com for the flirt skirt pattern.